Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me here. This is Michael Anfield, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the issues that we're going to face um, as people who are nonconformist and anarchists who want to create a veganic homesteading community. And let's talk about this because I think we need to go into this. I think we need to go into this in more detail. So let's talk about first thing that we're going to talk about is the birthright to live and move freely anywhere on the earth and our fair share of land. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. So unfortunately we're born in this earth and most of us are born in hospitals, which restricts our freedoms. We're given all sorts of vaccinations. I mean, depending on when we were born, but anytime after the 70s or 80s, we've been given a lot of vaccinations and a lot of medication and so forth. We've been given a passport, birth certificates, and a whole lot of other licenses and documents and so forth, like bank cards and visas and health card and so forth. So we have to realize that when we're born with the birthright to live and move freely anywhere on the earth with our fair share of land and water. Water, plant seeds, seeds and plant foods. So, particularly, we're going to be talking about this birthright to live and move anywhere and to have our own fair share of arable land. Now, no one owns Mother Earth. No one owns Mother Earth. No one owns nature. No one. So buying a house literally is criminal. We should be able to have our fair share of land and we should be able to move anywhere we want on the earth because animals, non human animals, have that freedom. They have the freedom to go where they wish. Of course, not in the territory of other animals, but they basically can go wherever they wish and they can build their own house without being taxed, without being given orders to give rent or pay for a mortgage or anything like that. Now, I understand we live in this monetary system, and I'm still living in this monetary system. We're not living completely free, but we have the birthright to live and move anywhere we wish and to have our own fair share of land. Now, according to one friend, that area would be about 2 acres per person. And that could be, you know, discussed on how much exact land we should each have. But we don't need more than that. 2 acres per person. And according to government law, it's not a it's not a natural law, it's a government law. We have to pay either for rent, or pay for a house, or pay taxes, or pay for mortgage. And we have to actually, the only being on this earth that has to pay to live here. How ridiculous does that sound? Now, some people say, yeah, it's ridiculous, but that's just how it is. And we have to follow it, otherwise, we'll end up in jail. But that's the attitude of majority of people, meaning If you want your freedoms taken away, your birthrights taken away, we comply. If we don't comply. We exercise our birthrights. That's what it really means to live and move freely anywhere on the earth. I mean, these country borders, who created them? Humanity. Why? Because whoever these people were that created it, the elite people, they wanted to divide and conquer. We are, and we live in a separatistical world where we divide and conquer everything based on race, color, gender, based on sexual orientation, based on country, culture, based on political groups and politics and economics. It's all divide and conquer. And sports teams and everything else in our society is divide and conquer. Male, female, transgender, you name it. All divide and conquer. Black, white, yellow, red, etc., etc. We're all one on this earth. We're all beings. And that's what we need to do. We need to exercise our rights and our freedoms. So we need to exercise these rights. Now, again, I don't have all the answers currently as to how we're going to achieve this world or world vegan community, how we're going to achieve that. I don't know, but if we go to the website peacefulvillage.com or peaceful-village.com /forum, as you can see right here, this is the website for this, and I'm right here. And as you can see, the first thing under basic human rights, the first basic human rights, okay, of course, the number one basic human right is that we have the right to breathe air. That's the number one right, actually, to breathe air. That's what they want to take everything away from us. They want to even tax us, carbon tax us, which is really the right to breathe air, basically. And so I don't have all the answers. I don't know how we are going to get past this whole thing. But the more people, more and more and more people that join us to exercise their birthrights, the birthright to live and move freely anywhere on the earth and our fair share of land, the more that we do that, the more that we exercise our birthrights, the more people that stand up to governments and police and their tyranny. They want to enslave us. They want to have us enslaved. And that's what it is. And it's been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades, for eons of time, for about 10,000 years. When we started animal agriculture, we started to have less and less freedom, less and less of our, or more and more of our rights are invaded and are being restricted. So we have less freedom, less rights than we used to do back hundreds or even thousands of years ago. And it's because we are enslaving more animals than ever, non-human animals, especially for food. We're enslaving them. We are seeing them as nothing but property and food, and we see ourselves basically as the same thing. I mean, not as food, but we used to, according to anthropologists. So that's one of the biggest things. We need to exercise these rights and stand our ground. No matter what, we have to exercise them. Because if we don't, who will? So we need to stand up and we need to teach others these ideas, all these birthrights. Now, there may be more birthrights, but these are the most important ones. And the first one I'm talking to you about is the freedom, the birthright, and the freedom to move anywhere or in the world, to live anywhere in the world without having to pay for anything. I mean, look at our ancestors thousands and thousands of years ago. They basically just lived on the land, took care of the land, took care and lived in harmony with all the other creatures, and now it's the total opposite. And now we're complying because this is society, and I want to be part of society where they enslave us. Fortunately, again, I'm still part of this because I'm learning more. I'm learning more. I'm trying to understand, and I'm trying to figure out, now that we know, what can we do to get past this? So that's the thing. The more people that get together and discuss these ideas through the website peaceful-village.com/forum, the more we'll be able to understand these ideas and be able to discuss them and be able to actually tackle them, to be able to address these issues once police once we're living on the land and we see police, then we know how to handle the police. Now, ultimately, police can be here for our own good, but ultimately, we really don't need police. Eventually, once majority of people are not supporting or not conforming, and actually are anarchists and not conforming to human or government human laws, then, and we create other communities around the world, alternative communities around the world, veganic homesteading communities, then we understand. And we understand these ideas, first of all, because we're creating them, alternative communities against society. But once majority of people do that, then there's no support for the government and the elite people. And so they'll have to take the most drastic measures possible in order to enslave us. But when we band together as vegans, fruitarians, raw vegans, etc., and we create alternative veganic homesteading communities away from culture, society, away from the monetary system, etc., then there's less power, and they really can't do much to us in that case. But we don't live that way because majority of people don't think that way. It's like, well, why don't people want to walk naked on the streets? Because nobody's doing it. It's our birthright to actually walk naked anywhere around the world. Now, of course, it's a different story if we're living in cold climates and it's snowing outside. Of course, we're going to be wearing some clothing. But we shouldn't even be living in those places because they're not truly natural and healthful places to be living in. So we have to exercise all our birthrights, especially the birthright to live and move freely anywhere on the earth with our fair share of land. So that is it. Let's exercise these birthrights. Let's have a discussion. Please share this video if you found it useful. And please sign up to the forum and start the discussions here. We currently only have 10 users on the forum and not many posts. But I'm trying my best to do what I can to share this and to also post some stuff on there in discussions. And this video will also be posted in this forum. So that's really about it for this video, everybody. Please like it, give it a thumbs up, share it around with all your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to my email newsletter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon, everybody. Take care.